Happy Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to All Levels Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. So we're going to start using a rolled up beach towel or firm blanket so that you could create a cylindrical shape out of it, a nice, firm, smooth cylinder pillow. Go ahead and make that. And let's place it towards the rear end of your mat, just about a foot away from the edge, crossing your mat. And we're going to use this as a light way to begin opening our chest and the fronts of our shoulders, as that was a request for today's physical practice. So as you come to lie down, if you would also like to open your hips, you may need 2 blocks for this part. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana, so that's soles of your feet together, bend the knees apart, and place your blocks underneath your outer thighs. If it's comfortable without blocks, you can not use them. And then as you come to lie down, land the area just below the bottom tips of your shoulder blades onto that cylindrical pillow, so that your shoulder bones drape off of it, maybe even touching the mat. And then you could decide if you want to bend your elbows apart, softening the shoulders downward away from your neck so that your palms face up and your arms are resting on the ground. Or to just catch. And begin to take more notice of your physical body, its sensations, and the quality of your breathing, your mental state, your energetic being. So as we arrive, I am going to share another excerpt from Meditations from the Mat as we continue our dive into the kleshas, as yoga philosophy calls the root causes of suffering. It starts with a quote by author Don Miguel Ruiz. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it, not because you're expecting a reward. Most people do exactly the opposite. They only take action when they expect a reward and don't enjoy the action. That is why they don't do their best. The excerpt goes on to the third affliction or root cause of suffering, which is desire. Afraid in a fearful world, we very much want certain things to happen, and we very much want certain other things not to happen. Our experience of life is like that of a trapeze artist, but instead of rings, we swing from one intense attachment to the next. We begin asana practice with an eye to the results. We've heard that stretching is good for the back or helps with stress, so we quote unquote go to yoga to get a little something we feel we are lacking. This consumer attitude serves the purpose of getting us to the mat in the first place, but it must be abandoned if we are to stay there. This is especially so because the first year of asana practice often produces spectacular results. Years of pain vanish, diseases reverse themselves, body image problems fade, a whole new world is presented to us. Why not hope for more of the same? Because it is in this hoping that we lose sight of the true beauty we have discovered. Asana practice is an immersion into the now. The work we do on the mat teaches us to commit wholeheartedly to the present moment. We act in the moment with all our hearts because we are learning that that is all there is. We are finding that the only result worth achieving is being here now. All other positive outcomes are byproducts of our present moment awareness. To be attached to the results, be they a tighter bum, a better triangle pose, is to place the cart before the horse and to miss the point. Eventually, we will find the striving unrewarding, and then we will put our mats on the shelf to collect dust, alongside all the other devices we've used in the hope of achieving specific results. The alternative? Doing your best as an expression of your love for your life is the path that leads to a long and fulfilling asana practice. So as we begin in this heart opening, breath expanding posture. Let's dive into a slower inhalation, letting the breath expand into your belly, expand into the four walls of your rib cage, lifting your heart center at the middle of your chest. Before you very slowly let it go out to your mouth, maybe with a sound, let the belly sink softly towards your spine. Hold the breath out on empty. And then even take more time to breathe in, feeling each moment as the breath expands into your body. Holding the breath in at the very top of the inhalation for a few seconds. And again, opening your mouth to slowly let it go. And then from here, bring your attention just to your belly. Empty this breath. Hold it out. And now only into your belly, breathe in 1/3. Pause. Now into the sides of your rib cage, breathe in another 1/3. Pause. Into your chest, fill up the last 1/3. And holding the breath, relax your shoulders, relax your face. Slowly empty your breath completely. Then pause. Again, Durga Pranayama to your belly. Then 1/3 into your side ribs. 1/3 into your chest. Filling it up, hold the breath. Relaxing your body, slowly let all the breath go. Hold at the bottom, then try one more on your own of this. And when you've finished holding your breath out, ease into a sustained, even, balanced inhale and exhale through your nose. Now closing your lips, if that's feasible for you, and softly constricting or narrowing the back of your throat so that you invite a gentle whispering sound you could listen to that's very subtle, smooth, tracking the quality of your breath, your ujjayi breathing. And as you listen to the sound, if your knees are still bent wide, bring your hands to your outer thighs, remove any props that might be there, and then lift your thighs, setting your 2 feet onto the ground. Either by turning over to one side or rocking forward, take your path of least resistance to arrive sitting upright. And once you are sitting tall, grounded through your sitting bones, join your palms to meet at your heart, allowing a moment to perhaps set an intention for your day or this hour of practice. Let's send the vibration of that intention out with one Om, taking a deep breath in. Breathing in and out through your nose. Release your hands, gently open your eyes, and invite you to grab your strap as we come to stand at the top of your mats. Separate your feet a little wider than hips distance and parallel. Then take hold of the strap in front of you so that your hands are wider than shoulders width apart, with your arms straight and your shoulders relaxed, arms down by your side, strap in front. As you take a deep breath in, raise your arms overhead, keeping the space in your neck. As you exhale, lower your arms behind you and all the way down. We're gonna do this a few more times. Inhale your arms up with the elbows straight, shoulders relaxed. Exhale your arms forward, then down. Then keep going. If you find your shoulders warming up, you can deepen this stretch in the shoulders by walking your hands a little closer together. Try to keep the strap taut Notice as you lift your arms that your front ribs don't begin to project forward. Consciously soften the bottom of your front ribs down towards your pubic bone, lengthening both the front and the back of your torso, your spine. Let's take 2 more cycles of breath of this. Feel your weight evenly distribute throughout the 4 corners of each foot. Active in the fronts of your thighs, the arches of your feet, and even your belly. So finishing this breath, put the strap aside. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. And as you bend your left elbow, catch hold of it with your right hand, landing your left palm between your shoulder blades. Keep breathing. Draw your 2 shoulders down, lift up through the back of your skull, open your throat, and continue to seal in the bottom of your front ribs. Draw your tailbone towards the ground, right between your heels, and begin to lift your spine before side bending to your right. A few more breaths. Rounding heavily through your left foot, lift your spine as you inhale. Perhaps side bend a little more as you exhale. Maintaining the space throughout your neck. Inhale, rise up, raise your arms straight, and then bend your right elbow, lower your right palm between your shoulder blades. Catch hold of your elbow with your left hand, bringing it closer to the center of your skull. Then draw both shoulder blades down, open up your throat, seal in your front ribs, and continue to anchor your tailbone between your heels as you lift the spine, then side bend to your left. Lift the spine and side bend some more, breath by breath. Feel the counterbalancing weight of your right foot. On your next inhale, raise your arms straight, and then cactus bend your elbows apart to cross left elbow over right elbow into eagle arms. Either hooking your thumbs or wrapping your forearms and palms, bring your feet about hips width apart. Draw your shoulders down, lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders. And as you gently press your forearms away from your face, bend your knees, send your weight back towards your heels by drawing your shin bones back. Lengthen your tailbone towards the ground as you hug in the bottom of your front ribs. Let's take another 3 breaths here in this eagle arms chair pose. As you inhale in chair, lift your elbows a little higher than your shoulders. Then exhale, backstroke your arms to interlace your fingers behind your lower back, and then fold forward with knees still bent. Letting your head completely fall, stretch your arms forward. With a slight bend in your elbows, lift your shoulders up away from your neck. I'm going to softly shake your head no a few times. Feel your neck and jaw loosen as you listen to your breath. Perhaps even flutter your lips. Then release your arms. Sweep them overhead as you breathe in to rise all the way up to stand. Arms straight up. Exhale, bend your elbows apart again like a cactus shape. Crossing right elbow over left. Hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Slide your shoulders down as you lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders. Gently press your forearms away from your face. And then bend your knees again into a modified chair pose so your feet are parallel, hips distant. Glide your shin bones back. Anchor your tailbone down. And soften your bottom front ribs in. Last 3 breaths. As you inhale and chair, lift your elbows a little higher than your shoulders. Exhale, backstroke your arms to interlace the opposite thumb and index finger on top, folding forward with bent knees. Now this time bend your right knee a lot. As you straighten your left leg, lean towards the outside of that calf. Tilt your weight forward towards the balls of your feet and let your head drop. Maybe nodding your head this time. Then as you bend your left knee a lot, straighten your right leg, lean to the outside of that calf. As your arms are reaching forward, your weight forward, lift your shoulders up away from your neck. And as you bend both knees slightly, come back through center and press your fingertips either on blocks ahead, the floor ahead, or your shins. Firming your belly as you inhale to lengthen your spine parallel to the floor. Lower your hands just outside of your heels, perhaps using blocks, and step the ball of your left foot all the way back into a lunge. Now you could choose to lower your back knee if that offers your shoulders more rest. And as you breathe in, bend your front knee right on top of the heel and broaden your chest forward. As you breathe out, plug your right thigh bone deeper into your hip socket. Begin to straighten your right leg, just the amount that you can bow inside of it without rounding your back. Inhale, rebend your right knee, keeping your two hips facing forward. Exhale again, straighten your right leg, just the amount to fold with length in your neck. Keep going at your pace of breath, 3 more cycles. Bend and straighten. Next time you bend, lower your back knee, scoot it another inch or two back, untuck the toes, crawl your fingertips even closer to your pelvis on the ground or blocks, and let your pelvis sink a little deeper. As we gently lengthen into the top of your left thigh and hip, breathe in, breathe out. Give your right foot the energy as if you're dragging it back towards the rear of your mat without actually moving it. Use that to help square your hips. And as you lift your frontal hip bones, draw your navel towards your spine and slightly lift it towards your heart. Another 2 breaths. Shoulders relaxed. Then step back onto all fours. Let's enter a few rounds of cat-cow. Breathing in, glide your spine forward, then coil your chest up. Breathing out, contract your belly, drop your skull as you round your back. Take about 4 more cycles at your own pace. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to round and cat pose. Eventually meet in downward facing dog. Perhaps you take a few breaths when you arrive in downward dog to shift your body in any way. Pedaling your feet, often moving your skull, or even lifting the leg and then the other. Position your wrists, shoulders width apart, and let their creases align parallel to the front edge of your mat. Root down between your thumb and index fingers and rotate your triceps towards the ground. Drop your skull with a steady gaze towards your feet, paralleling your feet as you lift your sitting bones high and send your weight down the backs of your legs to your heels. Take 2 more breaths. Bend your knees, lift your heels and hips high, look beyond your hands. At the bottom of your exhale, slightly land your feet between your mat, either walking or jumping. Forward. Sweeping your arms, inhale to rise all the way up into mountain pose. Your palms meet. And exhale, trace your arms on the center of your body, landing arms by your side. Inhale, circle your arms high. This time, that gentle back bend as you pull your chest lightly up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward folds. Press blocks the floor of your legs. Inhale, lengthen forward. With hands beside your heels, step your right foot all the way back to lunge. Feel free to lower your back knee if you did so on the first side. As you inhale, bend your front knee just on top of your heel as you broaden your chest forward. Exhale, straightening your left leg just a degree that you could fold inside of it without rounding your back. Again, inhale, bend your front knee into your lunge. To straighten your left leg as you exhale, scissor your left outer hip back and send your chest forward. Keep going another 3 cycles of breath. When you finish, lower your back knee, untuck the toes, scoot your back knee another inch or 2, and let's sit a little longer and deeper into a kneeling lunge. Keep your hands on the ground or blocks, but bring them closer to your pelvis. Taking deep breaths as you lift your sternum slightly forward, letting your shoulders relax down your back. Feel your lower belly draw in rather than leaning into your left thigh. It's lifting inward towards your spine and heart. Last 2 breaths. Choose your version of plank pose to hold another 3 or so breaths. Stacking your shoulders over your wrists, fingers spread wide. Knees on the ground or legs straight with heels firming back. Lift your navel towards your back and broaden your chest forward, gazing on your mat ahead of your hands. Rolling your triceps slightly towards your rear wall, take another breath in. Slowly into Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale, glide forward, and bend your elbows 90 degrees, hugging them close to your sides. Then come all the way down for Cobra, or untuck your toes and go right into upward facing dog if you're ready. Contracting your belly, lift your hips. As you exhale into downward facing dog. Let's hold still this time. Steady your gaze and listen to your breath. We're going to start a flow, setting the route slowly as you inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhaling, bend your right knee towards your nose, round forward to plank, and set your right foot lightly inside of right hand. Come into a high lunge. Feet hips width apart, 2 hips facing forward. Round down through your feet and slowly rise as you breathe in, crescent lunge. So as we balance the bowl shape of our pelvis upright, lower your tailbone and lift your frontal hip bones. Lightly scissor your right hip back, your left hip forward. It can help to bend the left knee. And as you're raising your arms, feel the vertical length of your spine while relaxing your shoulders. Take another breath in. Now just at your waistline, keeping below that still, begin to twist to face your right wall, opening your arms wide apart, sliding your 2 shoulder blades down your back ribs, lifting through the back of your skull so your chin parallels the floor. Maybe you look behind your right hand as we take another deep breath. Now looking at the front of your room, we're going to turn left into Warrior 2. Spin your left heel down, back stroke your left arm, slide your right foot a few inches to the left to align that heel with the arch of your left foot, and reach your right arm forward. steadying your gaze just past it. Warrior two. Feel how your right outer hip wraps slightly under your body as you firm the top of your left thigh bone towards the right edge of your mat. Spine upright. Bend your front knee just over your ankle. Let's take another 2 breaths. Press down through both of your feet as you straighten your right leg. Flip your right palm to face up and lift your spine before you side bend towards your rear wall. Putting your left hand lightly on your left leg in reverse triangle pose. Feel the right side of your torso lengthen with your breath. Take another in-breath. And as you exhale, cartwheel your 2 hands to the floor and step into plank. Lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Take a few breaths. Side 2, as you breathe in, raise your left leg back. Exhale, bend your left knee towards your nose, round forward through plank. Gently set your left foot inside of your left hand in a high lunge. With feet hips width apart, firm down. Inhale, slowly rise up. Crescent lunge. Remember that you could bend your right knee as you're aligning your pelvic bowl upright and squaring your hips forward. Feel your belly engage slightly here, supporting the full length of your spine. Take another in-breath. Keep your spine vertical, and at your waist, as you exhale, begin to twist to your left, opening your arms wide like a T. Soften your shoulders down and lift up through your crown. Directing your tailbone down, maybe look behind your left shoulder. Take one more breath in this twist. Now gaze at the front of your room, backstroking your right arm to enter Warrior Two. Spin your right heel flat. Slide your left foot a few inches to the right, aligning left heel to arch of right foot. With your left arm reaching forward, gaze past it. Left outer hip wraps under your body. Top of right thigh bone firms towards the left edge of your mat. Bending the front knee just over your ankle. Lift tall through your spine. As you firm down through both feet, straighten your left leg. Flip your left palm to face up. Lift your spine before side bending to your right. Land your right hand lightly on your right leg. As you sweep your left arm overhead, feel your breath waterfall down your left side body. Deep inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to plank and continue down through Chaturanga. Breathe in as you coil your chest up from down through the tops of your feet. Exhale, lift your hips back. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths in Downward Facing Dog. So that was the middle of our sequence. We're going to add a beginning and end as we turn it into a continuous flow. And by focusing on a particular quality in your breath that you want to cultivate in your state of being, whatever's aligned to the intention that you set. Groundedness, balance, presence. Let this movement become a meditation through flow. Bend your knees, look beyond your hands. On empty breath, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. With feet touching, inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. With knees touching, inhale, lean towards your heels, arms up in chair pose. Then exhale, rise up. Now from the top, continuous flow. Take a deep breath in. Through your nose, whisper your breath out. Follow that pace and inhale into chair pose. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, step to plank or float into chaturanga. Continue through your vinyasa at your pace of breath. Then downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, round forward, step it forward to a high lunge. Inhale, rise into crescent pose. Turning right, exhale, open arm twist. Left, inhale, warrior two. With right leg straight, exhale, reverse triangle. Cartwheel your hands and inhale to plank. And exhale to lower. Continue into your vinyasa. From downward dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, round forward to step it through to a lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent lunge. To your left, exhale, open arm twist. To your right, inhale, warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Exhale, reverse triangle pose. Hands to the ground. Inhale to plank. Exhale to continue lower, flowing to your vinyasa. As soon as you arrive in downward dog, steady your focus, steady your body and gaze. A few breaths. You begin to feel that quality that you chose to focus on. A sense of embodying it. Let's go again. We'll wrap up this round. Bend your knees, look forward. Bottom of your exhale, lightly land at the top. Breathe in to lengthen forward, feet touching. Breathe out to fold. Bend your knees to touch. Inhale, sit back in chair. Exhale to rise up. Dedicating your movement. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step to plank or float into chaturanga. Going to your vinyasa. From downward dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, round forward, step it through, high lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Your right, exhale, open arm twist. Your left, inhale, warrior two. Straight legs, exhale, reverse triangle. Hands to the earth, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower toe, your own. Last side. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, round forward through to a lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent lunge. To the left, exhale, open arm twist. To the right, inhale, warrior two. Straight legs. Exhale, reverse triangle. Hands to the ground, inhale, plank. Exhale, continue down, vinyasa. In stillness, refining your focus. Bend your knees, look forward. Bottom of your out breath, walk or float to the top. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees. Inhale into chair pose. Now from chair, lifting your right foot flexed. Rise to stand on your left foot, bending your right knee in front of you. Catch hold of your outer knee with your right hand and take a moment to reground here. Preparing for hand to big toe pose. If you'd like to straighten your right leg forward to some degree, bring your right arm inside of your right leg and clasp your big toe with your index and middle finger. Extending your right leg forward, draw your right shoulder back and down, and re-level your hips. Feel the balance of your pelvic bowl. Take a deep breath, keep breathing. And now let's turn open your right thigh at the hips, slowly opening your right leg out to its side, your left arm to its side, while keeping your spine vertical, upright. Perhaps look over your left shoulder. Now gazing forward, bring your right leg forward, rebend your right knee and flex the foot, join your hands in prayer at your heart. Imagine before you start to extend your right leg back and lean your torso forward into a horizontal line of warrior three. Hands could land on blocks of the floor, foot in front of your left toes if you need support. Turn your right outer hip towards the ground. Tack your left outer hip back and lengthen your sternum forward. Feel the aliveness and support at your center. Last couple of breaths. Slowly step your right foot to the rear of your mat. Pivot your feet to parallel in a wide stance. Bring your hands behind your back to clasp for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lifting your chest. Exhale, bow from your hips, completely dropping your head. Let's take a few breaths, stretching your arms forward to open your chest and lifting your shoulder bones up. Lifting your weight more towards the balls of your feet. Then bend your knees a lot, lead with your chest, and inhale to slowly rise. So I'm not going to mirror you here. That right leg that you stepped back is now going to become your front leg. So pivot your right leg to turn out from the hip, completely out, towards the rear edge of your mat. Left leg slightly turns in, entering triangle pose. Open your arms wide, glide your hips towards your rear leg, and reach your right hand forward and down. Onto your right leg or just to the right of it, maybe on a block, while firming arm and leg against each other. Tapping your right outer hip under, direct your tailbone back towards your left heel. Pull your neck up past your left thumb. Gaze at the ground in front of your right foot. Maybe bring your left hand to your left hip. Bend your right knee and crawl your right fingertips 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe out to the right corner. Drag your left foot forward and flex it. Lift the heel to the height of your hip and turn your chest to your left, completely stacking your shoulders over your right wrist. Now you could stay in this classical version, maybe even gaze up towards your left hand, or you could come into Chapasana, where you bend your left knee towards your belly. Catch hold of the top of your left foot, and as you're kicking the leg back towards half moon, you're pulling the foot in towards your glute, opening the front of your left shoulder chest just a bit more, as well as your quadricep. So wherever you are, A few last breaths. So if you are in Shavasana, make sure you're not flaring your left knee up towards the sky. Instead, it's pointing straight back to the opposite edge of your mat. Now, if your left knee is bent, slowly straighten it. Bend your right knee and softly step back to Warrior Two. Take a breath in Warrior Two once you've landed. Then straighten your legs, pivot your feet back to the front of your mat and step forward right to the top where it all began. With feet touching in mountain pose. Inhale your arms up into a gentle back bend. Exhale, bow forward. Smooth, steady breaths. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, bow again. With knees touching, feet touching. Inhale, chair pose. Shift your weight onto your right foot and exhale to rise, flexing your left foot off the floor. Catch the outer knee with your left hand. Pause and feel grounded, centered here. If you're going to straighten your left leg some amount in hand to big toe pose, bring your left arm inside of your left thigh and clasp your big toe with your peace fingers, extending your left leg forward as you draw your left shoulder back and down. How is your breathing? As you steady your eyes on something, turn out your left leg and begin to open it slowly to the left. Right arm to the right. Feel your spine still upright, your two shoulders stack above your two hips. Maybe look over your right shoulder. So in Sanskrit, this posture is called Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Bring that quality to your breath that you were flowing with in your meditation. Gaze forward. Bring your left leg forward. Bend your left knee, still flexing the foot. Join your hands in prayer. Visualize entering Warrior Three. Then slowly begin. A horizontal line from crown to inner left heel. Two hips squared to face the ground. Navel drawing in. Deep breath. Taking your time to land, bend your right knee and softly step your left foot all the way to the rear of your mat. Pivot your feet to parallel in a wide stance. As we prepare for forward fold again, Prasarita Padottanasana, bring your hands to your hips. Lifting your chest, take a deep breath. Exhale, hinge from your hips and shift a little more weight towards the balls of your feet. This time, lower your hands on the ground or blocks. Come up halfway and slide your shoulder blades onto your back. Now fold even more, exploring the depth of your fold with each breath. For those of you that want to practice headstand or moving towards it, walk your hands back so they pass alignment with your heels. Bend your elbows back like Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping your arms parallel. Press your palms flat into the ground and lift your shoulders up away from your neck. Find the very top of your head to rest lightly on the floor. As you begin to engage your belly, lift your heels. Placing one knee on top of one upper arm and then the other onto the next. Draw your navel in. You're in tripod headstand. You might choose to bring your bent knees towards your belly and unfold your legs straight into a vertical line, flexing your feet together as you hug your midline. Whatever variation you're in, let's take another 3 or so breaths. Now, if you were in a vertical line, you could bend your knees and restack them on top of your upper arms, or splay your flex feet apart like a straddle and slowly turn your pelvis to land the soles of your feet on the ground. Once your feet are both on the floor, inhale to crawl your hands forward and rise halfway. Exhale, pause here. Bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale slowly, lead with your chest to rise. Then from your hips, turn in your right leg, turn out your left leg. I'm not mirroring you here. Left foot becomes your front leg for triangle pose. Open your arms and glide your hips towards your right leg. Reach your left hand past your left knee, then down onto your left leg or just to the left of it, maybe on a block. Wrap your left sitting bone under your body and reach your tailbone towards your right. Shoulder blades down your back. Half moon pose, gaze at the floor ahead of your left. Perhaps bring your right hand to your right hip to help you transition. Bending your left knee, crawl your left hand 6 inches ahead into the left upper corner of your left toe. Drag your right foot in, flex your right heel to the height of your hip. Chest completely facing your right side, stack your 2 shoulders over your left wrist. How's your breathing? Go into change. And you find that sense of inner stability that you choose to focus on and cultivate. Your underlying presence that witnesses the impermanence of it all, even of your breath. Enter Chapasana, bend your right knee towards your belly. Take hold of the top of your right foot and kick the leg towards straight. As you pull the foot towards your glute, opening the front of your right shoulder. Feel your center still alive and engaged. Feel your breath, balanced flow. Now when you decide if your right knee is bent, straighten like the half moon. Bend your left knee and softly step your right foot back into warrior 2. Take a deep breath in, warrior 2. And now that we're facing the rear of our mat, cartwheel your hands to frame your left ankle and come all the way down to your belly to lie face down. From here, bend your knees, forehead to the ground for one more heart-opening active back bend. Knees close together, catch hold of your outer feet. Kick your legs towards straight as you press your pubic bone to the ground. Coiling your chest up, take 5 to 10 deep breaths. We're only doing this once, and this is our last back bend. Feel the expansion of your heart space, the buoyancy at the center of it. And once you've decided to come down to rest, roll over onto your back. Bend your knees as you line your back. Separate your feet wider apart than hips distance. And drop your bent knees together to touch. Interlace your fingers loosely and circle your wrists. Circle your hands at your wrists. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And from here, separate your knees as wide apart as your feet. Then drop both knees to your right side. Line up your left knee to trace the midline of your mat. Stay here or add on by crossing your right ankle just above your left knee onto your left thigh, adding some weight to further release your psoas. Perhaps you also raise your arms overhead and catch the opposite bent elbows while resting your shoulders down away from your neck. Now breathe slowly into your stomach. Feel it gently expand like a balloon. Breathe even slower out to your lips. Begin to unravel your legs back to that neutral position of both bent knees, feet apart wider than hip distance, knees apart too. Drop both knees to your left side. Trace your right knee down the center line of your mat. If you want a little more sensation in your right outer hip, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. And also, you might switch the cross of your elbows overhead while relaxing your arms and shoulders. Feel your exhalation slow down. Your inhalations expand your belly. Finishing this breath, uncross your legs, bend your knees towards your chest, perhaps rocking in any direction. Then choose a cooling inversion to practice for a minute. Legs up, prop under lower back, legs up, shoulders center plow. Do so without feeling that you're flattening your neck to the floor, tilting the chin back, keeping your head still.
I can hear you now. The story circles, it comes back around. We chant a call and watch them all go through. That door I never saw, I never knew. Me and you, we come from earth and water, straight from that mountain's daughter. Back to the mother, we must journey now.
As you feel ready to come out of your inversion slowly, you might take a few breaths in happy baby pose. Maybe a gentle spinal twist as you're lying on your back. Or fish pose, which is a great counter posture after shoulder stand. Sliding your palms face down into your glutes with legs straight forward, tilting your head back. Then gently turn over to one side, pressing the ground away. Slowly lift your body upright. And before we end in Shavasana, I'd like to lead you through or facilitate a short pranayama practice, which is a brain balancing breathwork, alternate nostril breathing. So sitting tall, relaxed, place your left hand on your lap. Perhaps bring your thumb and first finger to touch. And with your right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger, closing your lips, maybe also closing your eyes. Exhale your breath softly through your nose. Then hold your breath out. With right thumb covering right nostril, inhale slowly to your left, about 6 counts. Hold your breath in, about 3 counts. Last 2 fingers cover left nostril. Exhale softly through the right, about 6 counts. Hold your breath 3 counts. Then inhale for 6 through the right nostril. Cover the right with thumb. Exhale through the left for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale for 6. For 3. Cover the left. Exhale through the right for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale for 6. Hold for 3. Exhale through the left for 6. Release your 2 hands, and perhaps keeping your eyes closed as you now breathe naturally. Set your body up for a comfortable position to rest in stillness for a few minutes of Shavasana, lying down.
Can you see the faces of the fathers of your past? Listen, they are calling for your healing. Father, I hear you. Can you see the faces of the mothers of your past? Listen, they are calling for your healing. Mother, I feel you. Can you see the faces of the fathers of your past? Listen, they are calling for your healing.
As you feel your body breathing, let that gentle movement of your breath inspire small motion in your body, easing out of stillness, and in your own way arriving to sit, whether to close your practice or to join us for 5 minutes silently in meditation. Before I set the timer for 5 minutes, here is a suggestion for self-inquiry. how do I do my best today as an expression of my love for life? to bring more attention to your breath, your body, surrounding area. Join your palms meet at your heart, bowing in to close our practice together. Let's join our voices, both giving and receiving, with gratitude, the positive vibration of Om, the sound of our interconnectedness. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.